more excellent speakers that we need to listen to, and since especially they are young, so we have to continue with that. So maybe our next intervention is from the co-founder of Hashtag Generation, Mahisha Balraj. Mahisha, over to you.
Thank you, Hannah. At this opportunity, I would like to wish the UN on its 75th anniversary. And also, thank you for having me on this great discussion. It's definitely an honor. Esteemed panelists and friends, there has been a lot of discussion on the power of technology, and a lot of eminent panelists have spoken about how the power of technology can greatly benefit the youth. Tushant had a specific focus on the very positive outlook of how digital technologies are harnessing the potential of young people and giving them a platform and a voice, enabling them to own their narratives through storytelling. That being said, I would also like to add on to that. While looking at the positive side, it's also important to take cognizance of the fact that with the increasing use of digital technologies, there's an increase in conflict in the digital space, especially we're seeing this increasing during the COVID-19 crisis. As the globalized digital technologies and platforms flourish, they help to promote increased polarization that can be based on a number of factors, including social, religious, political, and other interests or ideologies. And then this results in online conflict, which also then sometimes has the potential to translate into offline conflicts and violence. And in Sri Lanka, we've seen this happen many times, and especially in the recent past. Some examples are, we were all familiar with the sterilization pill and Dr. Shafi, and now, of course, the targeting of ethnic minorities during this COVID-19 pandemic. And with the advent of digital technologies, it has made access very easy, like we've had Honorable Minister point out, Tushant pointed out, access to mobile phones is not a problem in Sri Lanka. And this then enables a wide range of people to become actors in the dynamic of conflict. The triggers for such conflict can take many shapes and forms, and it includes disinformation, misinformation, and hate speech. There are also other forms of violence, such as gender-based violence, cyberbullying, child pornography, and so on. And during this crisis and pandemic, and going forward, we're only seeing this increasing, and there has to be measures that must be taken to curb and mitigate it. For example, if you look at disinformation and the ease at which you can spread it, all you need is access to some form of digital technology that enables anyone with sort of minimal skills and an equipment to sort of in them become the source of this misinformation and disinformation. And this then is supplemented by the fact of anonymity, where you can just sit behind a screen and this works in the favor of the perpetrator. So then what is the solution to this? I'm only focusing on this aspect, and obviously, as it has been pointed out before, digital technologies has been providing a voice for the marginalized and for people who have otherwise been disenfranchised. And while also taking that into consideration, I'm only trying to address this issue of conflict in the digital space and now how we can then mitigate and find solutions to it. That's where the multilateralism comes into play. World over, we're facing this problem of cyber violence, and we're grappling with this problem and trying to find innovative solutions. And that's where the role of young people really comes into play as well. So it's the pillars of young people, multilateralism, and innovation that comes together, and we have to find long-term and short-term strategies to address this issue. Some short-term strategies, like Dr. Vinya had already pointed out, it could be counter-narratives, social media community campaigns, creating awareness, fact checks. And the long-term strategies could be this sort of, I would like to add on to what Shadika had to say about value-based education, spiritual values to be integrated, because the violence and conflict that you see online is not just unique to the online space, but it is an extension of the violence and conflict that is offline, that is then being extended to the online space. So it is important to integrate a value-based education into our formal curriculum, also integrating digital citizenship and digital literacy. Honorable Minister also pointed out that they're taking measures to take the technology to the village. It's great. It's a great initiative, but also to please keep in mind that while such technology is being taken to the villagers, it is very important to teach these young people the skills and the values on how to be safe online. Without these tools, then that leads to a vicious cycle of further problems. While being said that, there's also, the Honorable Minister also focused on research, and it is important to research on this area. We at #Generation are doing our small part by monitoring social media platforms and working closely with intermediaries such as Facebook. So it's important to invest in research to prevent non-recurrence and early warnings. Research will indicate that, and these problems online will definitely surface online before translating into offline conflict. There must be rich exchanges of the lessons learned across the globe, and this is where I feel like the UN, the organization, multilateral organizations like the UN can step into play, where they can bring a multi-stakeholder approach and collaborations with different parts of the world to address this issue, and we will emerge stronger in the post-COVID-19 world. And we must all strive to keep fighting the good fight to ensure that we leave no one behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahishi. Very good points.